You're still watching Joy News Prime. My name is Sandra and I'm back with the second half of business. Let's start from the Bank of Ghana, where it is projecting that some further reduction in the cost of credits in the country will be done. The central bank is basing its projection on pickup in capital levels of banks and improved confidence in the sector. Currently, interest rate is hovering around 20%. Head of banking supervision at the Bank of Ghana, Osei said the development would also help grow the economy. He was speaking at a roundtable discussion on issues in the banking sector organized by Integrity Magazine.
Cannot continue to invest in government papers because the policy rate is trending downwards, and with time it is expected that interest rates will also assume the direction that the policy rate is going. And if it continues that way, we cannot meet the hurdle rate set for you. So you have to take risk. You would have to invest the excess money that you have. And as you invest, as you go into loans, what it means is that you are pumping more money there, and it is expected that the interest rate will drop. So going forward, it is expected that the reforms that we have done in the banking sector will impact positively on the macroeconomy by way of reduction in interest rates. People will be able to access loans at a rate that will be very conducive for their businesses. So far, credit is gradually picking up, and the initial signs are encouraging. We anticipate that as the banks continue to implement effective and efficient credit administration procedures, together with the institutionalization of the credit referencing and collateral registry systems, credit growth will rebound to provide strong financial support to the growth prospect of the economy. One of the ways that we want to address the NPL menace is to put in place some kind of soft systems, and that is ongoing. And as these soft systems are put in place, it is expected that NPLs will go down. For instance, we know about the national ID system that is currently ongoing. If banks have better information, better particulars on borrowers, it will reduce the risk associated with the credit that they advance, and banks will be able to give more credit. The house numbering system that is ongoing, if you know where people live, you can go after them when you give them credit. And we expect that this will also improve the credit situation and make credits available to the private sector and to individuals. We are also talking about the reference bureaus. Steps are being taken to ensure that it works effectively, so that when banks grant credits, they will pass on, they will work with the credit reference bureaus and give some information to these bureaus, so that much as possible we'll be able to track the credit history of borrowers. And this will help recovery of loans and make more available to the banks for on-lending. Overall, when the banks are able to support growth meaningfully, jobs will be created, competition will be fostered in the economy, and this will support low inflation.
Meanwhile, Bank of Ghana has given the firm assurance that it has instituted the required measures to help families stabilize current banking sector reforms. So we still stay on currency issues, and the Bank of Ghana has currently banned the practice of pricing and advertising in dollars. Some checks by Joy Business have shown that the menace still persists. The Bank of Ghana says already the Ghana Revenue Authority has ruled out the possibility of importers complying with the central bank's regulation. But how possible will it be for other stakeholders to also comply? Karen Dodo has the rest of the story.
The pricing of goods and services in foreign currencies or dollarization of the economy is a key contributor to the depreciation of the cedi. However, in order not to make losses, businesses, particularly in the real estate and hospitality industry, price and advertise in dollars due to its stronger value. But what has changed following the Bank of Ghana's notice? Well, from checks in the dailies and on the internet, it shows that not much has. Following the notice from the Bank of Ghana, I decided to do some checks to find out if ratings by hotels have been changed to cedis or they're still the same. And not so surprisingly, checks by some popular hotels, 5-star and 4-stars, reveal that the rates are still in dollars and mostly without the cedi equivalent. So all these ones in dollars, stating the rates, some with discounts, but all not with a Ghana cedi. But then another interesting thing I discovered from my check showed that port charges by the Ghana Revenue Authority are also in dollars. So it says for importing a passenger car, you pay $566. Goes on mentioning various vehicles and their journey costs. So clearly, the fight against the dollarization of the economy should not only be a problem of imported goods or goods believed to be from the foreign market, but the fight should start with government.
That was Karen Dodo's report. Aggrieved customers of Gold Coast Fund Management are calling on for an independent committee to investigate the operations of managers of the company. Since July 2018, customers of the financial institute have complained of their inability to access their funds or interest on investments. Monday, some customers in Kumasi hit the streets in yet another demonstration demanding government step in. The leadership of the group says they have lost confidence in the Securities and Exchange Commission to do proper investigations into the matter. Princess Pia has more in this report.
More than 200 aggrieved customers of the Gold Coast Security Fund Management on Monday marched through the streets of Kumasi to push management of the company to pay back their money. Many of the placards they displayed suggested the regulators had failed them, the investors. Series of payment plans between the customers and the management of the bank had failed. The group says they've lost confidence in the Security and Exchange Commission.
We met with them on the 16th of March, and they gave us a week to credit the account of these emergency people, but they failed. And the negotiation was after they have dealt with the emergency people, then we'll be able to sit down with them to schedule how to pay the rest of the members. But even that 150 people, they were not able to pay them.
To address the ongoing impasse, the group wants government to institute an independent committee aside the Security and Exchange Commission to investigate the issue.
They have to apply the sanctions to the company, but they have refused to do that. It means that they are complicit. We do not have the interest of customers at hand. We have lost faith in the Security Exchange Commission. We suggested UECO, and the government can also form any investigation. He can just create any investigatory body to do the investigation.
Meanwhile, the customers say they will continue such protests until the company pays them their monies. For
in commodity news tonight, crude oil sold at $71.48 a barrel. Gold went up by $1,296, 1 cent an ounce, while cocoa traded at $2,297 a ton.